Hey everyone, Aaron Redbird Speed here. Today I want to talk about something that we end up going over a lot. So, should you rebuild your factory rear or should you just buy new? So, I got a couple scenarios here behind me. Uh, don't lose me here because there's a lot of options. So, hang in there with me. Let's run through this real quick. Let's say you got a Chevelle and you're trying to decide, all right, do I want to cut my C-clip ends off, put the bolt-in ends on, go through all this, or just order a new one, whatever. All right, so I got a price here. So we got 12 bolt, axles, bearings, and studs, gear, posi, yoke, just plain chrome cover, setup kit, labor to set up the ring and pinion in it. You're at about $34.59 plus shipping, so somewhere around $38.59 plus tax on a new setup like that. Now, you don't have any powder coat, you don't have any brakes, so this would be like if you're setting it up to work with your stock drum brakes. Now, let's do the same thing over here. Again, hang in there with me because I'm going to show you, got another price at the end here. Now, so let's say you want to rebuild your factory rear, cut the ends off the tubes, order some bolt-in style axles. So you got axles, bearings, and studs, a set of housing ends to work with your stock drum brakes, gear, posi, setup kit, yoke, got all that here. So no cover. Come down here to the bottom. You got labor to weld the ends on, setup labor, tear down labor, shipping to and from, which if you don't have somebody near you, you can't find anybody. A lot of times you end up paying a lot of shipping, and a lot of this is regional. Now, some of this may vary because you've got local labor rates may change or location might change, so your shipping price might change. But let's say you're at $32.81. Now, we were at about $38.59, so for $600 more, you get an aftermarket casting, 3-inch tubes, 1/4-inch thick walls. The gear and posi are already set up in it for you when it shows up to you. So it's kind of, do you sell your stock rear, get all new? I guess that kind of depends on your power level, because are your 3/16 tubes going to hold up? Are your main caps going to be hold up? Because in this casting, the caps are going to be overbuilt. They're going to be thicker, stronger. This housing is going to be a tank compared to the factory. So it just kind of depends on what you're doing in your application. But talking about some numbers, I mean, figure up, axles, ends, all the parts, all the labor rates, all the shipping rates. You get down here at the bottom, seems pretty appealing to do something like that. Now, I can do a setup like this. This is kind of a worst case scenario. I've got a setup like this. I can do a Dana 60 35 spline axles with the ears in it for Chevelle. You're looking at, you got $28.50 on housing, axles, gear, posi, and probably $250 to ship it in the 48 states. So you're looking at about $3,100. So for less money than to rebuild your stock rear, you can have an aftermarket, really stout Dana 60 35 spline axles, true track posi. I mean, that is going to be an absolute stout setup. So there are a lot of options here. There's a lot of different ways you can look at it. Again, this is like a worst case scenario type deal. So it's there are pros and cons to going both ways. Like if you can do this labor yourself, fantastic. You can do a set of housing in, set of axles, there's all different kinds of posis, and you can make all that stuff work together. So it just kind of depends on your individual situation, but maybe taking a look at some of these numbers will help you out and decide what you want to do on your build. So if you have any questions about any of this, get a hold of us, 260-301-2424, redbirdspeed.com. Get us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, we're on all those places. Be sure to give us a subscribe. We appreciate your support. Have a good day.